What's going on, guys? It's Celeb back again to do another review. This time around, I'm reviewing The Walking Dead, Season 2, Episode 4, Amid the Ruins. Now, this is not a spoiler-free. It is full of spoilers, so if you don't want to ruin your experience, if you haven't played it yet, which it's been out for a bit, make sure to stop watching right now because I'm about to start spoiling in 3, 2, 1. Alright, so what happens is in the last episode I decided to cut off Sarita's arm, and that's exactly where we start out. Sarita's arm's getting cut off by Clementine. Kenny's totally flipping shit over Clementine, saying she had no right. They're getting pissed off and they run off after Sarita dies. I myself, Clementine, is running around. I bump into Rebecca. She's freaking out because she's pregnant. Bump into Jane, and then Jane takes us to a place called Parker's Run, which is basically kind of like this weird park place that's all abandoned and shit. Whenever you get there, Micah's there, Bonnie's there, Kenny's there, but they're all worried because Kenny is in this weird freak-out state. And of course I try to talk to Kenny, and Kenny doesn't want to listen. He says I'm a piece of shit for killing her and blah 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 blah. Whatever. Who cares about that crap, because I made the right decision. She was going to turn into a zombie anyways, bro. And then you were going to have to deal with something even worse. So while you're there, you notice that Luke and Sarah are missing. So you actually go with Jane to a place called Sunshine Mobile Home Park. And while you're there, you see Nick. And Nick is dead. He's a freaking zombie. And he is like tangled up in the fence. And you kind of put him out of his misery. You stab him in the back of the neck. Totally crazy. I did not expect Nick to die. Or at least turn into a zombie. I did expect him to die. So, what happens is whenever you get there, Luke and Sarah are in a mobile home. Luke has been saying, I've been trying to get this girl to go. She's not listening to me. She's crazy. Obviously, because Sarah saw her father die by a horde of zombies. And you basically get to the point of zombies breaking into the mobile home. And I eventually slap Sarah in the face and say, you got to come with me or you're going to freaking die. And so they all get back, or they all get out of there and they get back to Parker's Run. Whenever they get back there, you are set with the task of finding somewhere that Rebecca can have the baby, because it is coming and it is coming fast. You eventually, at first, I end up going with Jane. But before that, I talk to Kenny. And, I tell Kenny I'm sorry and I didn't mean to hurt his feelings by doing it, but blah, 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 blah. She was bitten. I cut her arm off. I thought I could help. Of course, I didn't help, but I thought that would help. So Kenny snaps out of it. You basically talk Kenny into watching Rebecca. And you go with Jane, and you find this little shop that's set off of the ground. It's got these stairs and stuff like that on little, how do you say it? There's, the shop, and then there's about, I would probably say, 10-foot tall beams holding up this little wooden platform. So you're going up there, and you're kind of looking around, and there's this old cannon up there, and this weird dude, weird little Russian guy, Arvo, comes walking up. The stairs, so Jane and you were freaking out. Oh my god, what's going on? Arvo comes walking up. Jane holds him up at gunpoint. And they're like, we gotta look in your bag. So we look in the bag, and it's filled with freaking medicine. And Jane's like, we should take it. The whole group can eat it. Of course, me being me, I'm like, no, we're not gonna take it. Arvo's like, oh, Clementine, you are nice. You are a nice lady. So that was a horrible accent. So you let him take that, but Jane shoves a gun in his face. He's like, "You ever show back up here, I'll fucking kill you." And Arvo goes about his way. So you're heading back, and once you're heading back, you're kind of realizing, Bonnie and Mike are taking quite some time. So we need to go over there and check on them. And they're actually at the museum. So you're looking around trying to find some stuff. You eventually find two big-ass things, water and a oh my God, a South jacket, a Civil War South jacket. I can't even, Confederate jacket. And you're like, oh, maybe I can use this to help Rebecca from keeping cold. They make a little joke about Rebecca being black, wearing a conservative, hey, a Confederate jacket. So, you eventually go back because you hear a few things and you're wondering what's going on. You get back over there and there are walkers all over the place. Of course, Jane and Luke are nowhere to be found. Walkers are all over the place. Everybody's freaking out and like, we gotta go somewhere. What are we gonna do? And you're like, hey, me and Jane found this shop, and it's like 10 foot off the ground. Let's go this way. So you go running back. You finally run back over there, and Jane and freaking Luke just got done having sex. Like they're totally just got done doing it. You walk up and Clementine walks up the stairs, walks up to the little area that they unlocked. And Luke's like, oh, that's the most human I've felt in a long time. Oh, Clementine. You're like, dude, are you serious, man? The whole group is in jeopardy, and you're having sex with a chick that is basically a loner. What the hell is wrong with you? So, of course, Kenny is extremely pissed off, and he's like, there's walkers all over the place, and blah, 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 blah. What do you want me to do? Help them with the walkers. I'll watch after Rebecca, is what Kenny says. So the walkers are going. You're shooting left and right. And then guess what happens? Of course, because crazy shit happens on this game. The entire wooden platform collapses as you're trying to move this cannon over in front of a steel door to kind of block off the zombies. It completely breaks the wood. Wooden platform falls. Sarah gets trapped under this wooden piece of the platform. And you're holding on to Jane by one hand, and Jane's like, pull me up, and you're like, no, I can't pull you up, you gotta help Sarah, and she's like, she's not gonna make it, and you're like, just fucking help her, bitch. So, this is kind of like more like celeb story time right now. So, you let her go, and she goes down there, she's trying to help her, and this piece of wood hits her on the head while she's trying to lift the thing up. Obviously, you're not going to be able to help her. So Sarah gets mauled. She gets totally mauled by like 5-6 zombies. It's totally crazy. I'm freaking out. I'm totally tripped out at this moment. I don't even know what to say. Like, my jaw is like way past the point of being all the way touching the ground. It's like going through the floor. And so you eventually you shoot off the entire section of the wooden platform. Like, there's only a small amount of the wooden platform left. You break the pieces off so none of the zombies will come back up there. And Rebecca has her baby, and it's an extremely healthy baby. At first it kind of doesn't breathe, and everybody's like, oh no, it's dead, and then it starts breathing. So I think it is actually a girl. So and they're freaking out, because Kenny and Luke start arguing, and Clementine's like, it's not helping anything that y'all will not shut the hell up and stop arguing, so Kenny, just please be quiet, and we'll figure out what we're going to do the next day. Obviously, Jane decides to leave. She kind of stands up, and she's like, I can't be with this group anymore. It's way too much going on, and I can't see any more of the people that I eventually start caring about dying, so I gotta go. So she tells Luke that, because Luke comes over there asking where Jane is, and she's like, well, Jane left, and Luke's all freaking out, and whatever else. So what happens is eventually the group decides that they need to start moving. They can't just stay in that same area. And Luke's like, no, we can't start moving. Look at the fucking shape that Rebecca's in. We can't do this. We can't do this in the health. They all decide to move anyway. So Rebecca is not doing well at all. She's very sick, and she's really at the brink of death. And as they're walking, it starts snowing, and things are blowing left and right, and holy shit. And then they see this guy walking down the road, and they're like, holy crap, who is that? Comes walking up. It's that fucking Arvo dude, man. And you're all tripping out. You're like, oh, this is that Russian guy. Maybe he'll be nice to me since I didn't fucking do anything to him. Arvo walks up. He's like, I need some help. We need some bandages. Yes, we need bandages. And you're like, huh, that's weird. Why is he stuttering? And then bam, 4 or 5 other fucking Russian people come walking out, and you're like, holy shit. And then, you know, this one Russian dude's like, who are these people? And Arvo, the little bastard's like, oh, this is a person that stole from me. And you being Clementine, you're like, I didn't steal from you. I didn't steal anything from you. And Kenny's asking you, did you steal? No, I didn't steal anything. Jane was wanting to steal from him, so she kept his gun, and I gave him his fucking medicine bag back. So during this whole thing, there's guns being pointed everywhere. Everybody's freaking out. Nobody knows what's going on. Looking around left and right, left and right. Look to the left. Guess what's happening? Rebecca just died. Holy shit, Rebecca freaking died. With the baby in her arms, sitting on a freaking tire on the side of the road, Rebecca died. And everybody's yelling at each other. Nobody knows what's going on. Everybody's like, hey, 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 I'm going to shoot your ass. I'm going to shoot your ass. And then it looks back, and Clementine has this horrific look on her face. It shows Rebecca again, and Rebecca has already turned into a zombie. So you either have the choice to warn everybody or shoot Rebecca. Well, I shot Rebecca right in the effing head, dude. I shot her in the head. There's a freaking newborn baby right there, which only 42.7% of people shot Rebecca. 42.7% shot Rebecca. 57.3% got help, but I shot Rebecca. I'm not. I know that. I know that's probably a bad thing to do. You probably could have got somebody else and they were like, oh, she's a zombie now, blah, blah, blah. And I'll have to explain it in the, you know, obviously I have to explain it in the next episode to them why I shot Rebecca. But I shot Rebecca in the head, and it was totally crazy. Whenever you look at the percentages, 52% of people saved Sarah instead of leaving her at the trailer park. 52% of people robbed Arvo, which I did not rob Arvo. Crawl through the ticket booth. Okay, and this is another thing I didn't talk about. You know, you had a choice while you were with Bonnie and Mike to crawl through this ticket booth and see what's on the other side. Well, I decided to crawl through the ticket booth, and there was a zombie on the other side. So, 57% crawled through. 56% held the baby right after it was born, because Rebecca was like, hey, hold the baby. And then 57.3% obviously got help. But I didn't get help because she was a damn zombie, and I was sitting there thinking, oh no, she's going to turn the baby into a zombie baby. So that would have been totally creepy. Anyways, guys, I know this is more or less like I said, like a story time with me. But, you know, I wanted to do a different review than what I usually do, because most of the times I'm kind of just like, oh, well, you know, the gameplay was awesome, the story was amazing, blah, 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 and I wrap it up in like 5 minutes. You know, I wanted to kind of tell you my experience. I was totally tripping out, and I know this kind of sounds like a fan rant about the game, but it's freaking phenomenal, dude. I don't know how else to explain it. Telltale is so good at what they do, and while at San Diego Comic-Con, they announced that there will be a Season 3, which we probably knew that. But, you know, I will say this. I want to give big shout-outs to Telltale for giving me the opportunity of reviewing all these episodes. But I would love to see it on PlayStation 4. I'd love to see it on the PS4. Let me see Season 3 on that PS4 hotness. Ka-cha! Anyway, so total overall maybe 1 out of 10, or 1 to 10, I'm sorry. 1 to 10, I would give it a 9.5 out of 10. Great episode. Really loved the way they played things out. It was full action-packed. And then whenever the episode ended, there were shots being fired all over the place, so everyone's freaking out. So this is my kind of storytelling review of The Walking Dead, Episode 4 of Season 2. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to check us out at secondopinionpod.com. Peace out, guys!